in D.C. He stands 6'3". He's fighting for you. He's fighting for me. He'll bring that up. Yeah, I thought we could give you a talk with you on Friday morning, and Greg Wilson stopped it.
Yeah, morning.
You got golf today?
Yes, I do.
Nice day for it.
Yeah,
I think so. A lot better than the rain.
yeah.
We had
For
that.
sure.
Got a call from George Braun, our Washington bureau chief, this morning.
Okay.
Of course, he's in Washington D.C. out there at Georgetown, having a good time and all that.
Yeah. Now that it's safe there.
It is safer.
Yeah.
A lot. He's giving a tour today of the White House or grounds or Capitol. I don't know. He goes he's lived there 20, 30 years. I don't know. He's been there quite a while. But he called me this morning, not complaining really, but just announcing that it's really snowing heavy. It's snowing. He said it looks good. It doesn't snow that often in D.C. It's kind of south enough and close to water enough to get a lot of accumulation.
Yeah, set those cherry blossoms up to bloom in the spring.
They do.
Yeah,
they do, and it always looks nice.
Yeah,
absolutely right. I said, "Well, that's too bad. It's going to slow down the construction of the ballroom."
Yeah,
he said, "Maybe for a day."
Yeah,
Trump doesn't slow down.
Usually, if the ground stays hard, though, it's not going to hurt too much. Say if it stays cold.
The foundation they're putting in that thing, they dug deep. They put in a foundation because the weight of that ballroom is going to be so massive.
Yeah,
because he said, I was watching a documentary on the ballroom has these huge glass, windows that are 30 foot tall.
Yeah,
but they're bulletproof and they're like an inch thick.
Yeah.
And the whole thing's going to be like bomb-proof, bulletproof, IED-proof.
Yeah.
And it's going to be so heavy, they had to put in this really massive foundation, and they built it so that future presidents who they're building on could add and all that kind of stuff.
I think underneath there's a situation with an underground bunker.
There's probably stuff underground we don't know about.
Yeah. Yeah.
And who knows
all that stuff.
Who knows if they're going to cover it or expand it? Don't know.
Yeah.
When they started, in fact, the East Wing before was built to distract from the underground bunkers they were putting in at that time.
Yeah.
They put stuff in, so they built stuff on top of it.
Yeah.
Had an office building that nobody cared about, and then all of a sudden, to the left, it's the most historical part of the Capitol.
Yeah.
It was an office building for First Lady ended up there. That wasn't original, but First Lady.
But and I didn't know that the entire Capitol, they gutted it, redid it. I was never known that.
It was in the 40s.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, there's pictures of it from the inside, and it looks just like a construction yard, and only the outside walls were standing.
Yeah.
Inside, there were no rooms, no walls, nothing. It was strictly, completely gutted, and still I-beam put in and all that kind of stuff was put in back then.
Yeah.
Trump's done a major amount of rework himself, though. It's electrical, plumbing, and all that. They ripped through it before he got in there and really, probably accomplished something in a month or so that would have taken years otherwise.
Yeah. And the other thing too, it's not taxpayer money. It's private. Sector money.
They skirt right around that, right over it, don't see it.
Yeah.
And they said, "Yeah, we're spending all the money." No, we are not.
Yeah.
He is. And donors. He's got some donors that are doing it, but it's up to $300 million. And they said it's going to be nice. I was thinking about taking ballroom dancing lessons. I just don't know that I would be invited. I don't know how to get on that list.
Oh, yeah. I imagine.
It's going to be close to 100. It's going to be like 100,000 square feet or something.
Yeah, it is. It's huge.
And just to look from one end to the other of that thing is massive. That's huge.
Yeah.
It's like a Walmart.
Yeah. Well, they have all these, and they've had the other events at the Capitol, and they use a tent and outhouses and all that. That's terrible.
Yeah. Yeah. This would be a nice. Although we have politicians that are running, they're Democrats.
Yeah.
First thing I want to do in office is tear down that ballroom. We're going to tear it down. Idiots. And they'll probably get voted in. They're
Yeah.
probably running in districts where that's applauded.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. It's kind of, I haven't been able to figure it out. Kelly, what the hell Kelly was thinking when he, tried to undermine the military and undermine the chain of command. I just don't know
Well,
what they're thinking. I
he's
don't understand.
he's not acting alone.
No.
No, that's part of a whole cabal thing of
Right.
people that got together. Have you seen Victor David Hanson's explanation on all that?
No, I didn't.
Take a look at that. But he apparently it is taken right from like a CIA or FBI book of how to undermine another country. You go in and start creating this doubt in the military services. You show authority, and then you create a situation. Refer to a situation, what to do, and then come up with a solution. Solution being you don't follow orders.
Right. Yeah.
And so apparently, and he went through it pretty thoroughly, and they found out. The most interesting to me, and a lot of interest to me, was who paid for it all.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they went to some producers to look at how much it was going to cost. They said, "Well, this was not shot impromptu, but with an iPhone. This was heavily choreographed. It was tremendously expensive production value, but they were able to track back who it was somehow by looking at the film and seeing where it was done, and it was done by the same people that are charged with upending other governments and creating confusion in governments.
Yeah,
they weren't political people; they were spy type people.
Oh, CIA or something like that.
Yeah. Or contractors that work with.
Yeah. Well, and some people say Kelly's a smart guy. He might have been smart at one time, but he's like,
this was a bonehead move because he's the one that's neck is out. Because he can be recalled, but they've never done it to a U.S. senator, and that's been the question mark: is can we do it to U.S. senator?
Well, they've done it to generals before.
Yeah,
recalled and reduced them, and all that stuff. But so I think it's been done like 2 or 3 times before. But he's prime candidate.
Yeah,
I really think it should happen.
Well, this nationwide blast that they put on video out there on social media was followed up by billboards in other states and stuff, right outside military complexes.
Of course, it was to try. It was
to put doubt.
Yeah, put doubt. And to me, it's the longer I look at it, it's just straight out and out treason.
Yeah,
from someone that should have known better. I mean, he's disgraced everything that he's ever done now is I understand he's got that radical left that probably really support him and all that kind of stuff. But the common American
he looks like he's a little bit in panic mode going out all the news shows and everything trying to explain his case and all that.
Well, and
this makes him look worse. Looks like he's digging a bigger hole.
Yeah. Stop digging, right?
Yeah, put the shovel down. But I don't know what's going to become of it. I'm interested to find out. But I know Trump would very much like to treat it like it's intended.
Yeah,
it was intended to disrupt, and that's the way it should be. And that's the way it should be treated.
Yep.
And I think that argument that it's out of the manual. Everybody knows it.
Yeah, that had nothing to do with it. It was
highlighted for a reason.
It was try to cause problems. The military, all the services are coming back. They're meeting their recruiting goals, and then some. Morale is very high, and so they got to do something to try to undermine the U.S. military.
He also, in the video, showed pictures of him in a uniform.
Yeah,
I would think that would be. You're not supposed to use that in political things.
You are not.
And this,
you are not.
I think, is more political than anything that you're seeing. Another bonehead move.
Yeah, he's. Well, there are pictures and stuff like that. And pictures get out there, when candidates run their military service. There's usually some pictures that kind of circulate on the side of in uniform.
This was inside his political film.
Yeah,
that had to be intentional on his part or agreed to.
Yes.
Yep.
using his military service to try to enact an activist agenda. Yeah.
Sure. Tell soldiers just ignore orders that you think are unlawful.
Yeah.
That's a tough thing to do, isn't it?
Well,
I mean,
it's not supposed. You're not supposed to do that. You're not. Anytime you do anything, outside, you're not supposed to be in uniform, and you're not supposed to
no. I
wear
mean,
a
it's nothing to
service
do to
badge.
not follow an order. I mean, if
Oh, yeah, it is.
I mean, it's not a small.
No, it's got to be something like very egregious to not do that. I mean, it's like
I would think it would have
if
to be obvious and well defined, and not.
if you're told like to do something like go up and execute that civilian, that's something.
And the family, and kill the dog too.
Yeah, like me lie or something like that. Yeah, those are things.
Yeah, but on the in battle or something, when they say, we're going to take this hill, they're going to say, "Well, wait a minute, boss. I think that might be illegal based on this." You're not going to do that.
No, that's So you can't. Well, there's a lot of things, but you can get pretty immediate and severe action if you do things like that, though, against the person that like saying, I don't want to do that. There's some pretty severe things.
Well, that would create great chaos, and I get the impression that's what the Dems want to do.
Yeah, it is.
Create chaos and disruption.
Yeah,
because that would reflect on the leadership.
Yeah, and it's hard to really figure out, and Democrats at the federal level, what they're really for. I mean, because they're for crime, they're for fraud,
they're for winning the election, whatever it takes.
Yeah, and crime, fraud, and that's the main things that they stand for. And I don't understand that. I don't know how they got so upside down and bass backwards. I guess Obama was the one that brought them down that path.
Obama has even come out on media talking about military and not following orders.
So
it's
Obama is the worst case. I mean, his first I guess attack or bombing was in Yemen, and they dropped it was the wrong target. They dropped a cluster bomb on top of a village, all civilian village, totally wrong target, killed like 10 babies, 21 children, a bunch of women.
It didn't get the press it was deserved.
Right. Yeah.
He also killed some Americans.
Yeah, he killed two American citizens too.
Yeah.
Yeah. And and stuff like that, when you're going after terrorists or you're in war, stuff like that happens. You try to mitigate it as much as possible. But it does happen,
Yeah.
And but yeah, I mean, Trump's going after valid targets. And I guess I heard a debrief of, this double tap. There's no such thing as a double tap, and that's I just laugh when they say that. But, between the first bomb or rocket or whatever it was on the boat, and the second one, it was like an hour and a half.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and what I was told is that there were two survivors, and they climbed back on the boat, and they were trying to save the drugs, and they're on the radio, which of course they could intercept, talking to whoever, and so the decision was made that they were going to reattack because they had the ability to save some of the drugs, and somebody else was coming to bail them out because they're talking to them on the radio. So they made the decision to hit them again, and totally valid, totally justified. And some of the Democrats came out and realized, it didn't happen. Hegg didn't said kill it. He never said kill everybody or anything like that. And also there's a difference between shipwreck and terrorists that are out there. There's a big difference between stranded sailors. There's a lot of things you have to go through. But.
Well, and you heard the Colombian family is suing, or they are taking steps to claim inhumane treatment because her son was blown up on one of the ships, and he was just doing his job.
Yeah, I heard that. Yeah, they're just doing their job. That's how they earn their money, smuggling drugs.
Well, they classified him as a fisherman just doing his job.
Yeah,
I don't think he was on a fishing boat.
No, no, I have seen the posts about, this is a fishing boat, type of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't usually have 4 Evinrudes
Yeah.
going, 50 mile an hour.
Yep. And drums stacked from front to back, and
Yeah.
bales of whatever it is.
Yeah, they usually have room for fish.
And I didn't know that Venezuela is like the super highway for drugs coming into the U.S. It's not, they're not made there, but that's the path that they go through to get to the U.S. 300, what is
I
that?
didn't know either.
350 metric tons of cocaine go through Venezuela.
Yeah, it comes out of
every year.
Colombia mostly.
Yeah.
The cocaine does.
Yeah. They ship it up, get it to Venezuela where they got Maduro behind them, and then bring it into the U.S. But yeah, we haven't heard the last of that. I mean, Trump saying, yeah, the airspace is now closed. Yeah, if there's
Has
other
he
things.
closed? He's going to. I didn't know what
He
is it
announced.
done now?
Yeah,
Okay.
he goes, I consider the airspace over Venezuela closed.
I would take him at his word.
Yeah.
Um,
So, unless Maduro leaves and some of this nonsense comes to an end, I think we're going to see more there.
yeah.
And it's probably, it is 100% valid. Those are valid targets to strike.
The State Department has put a do not travel advisory on Venezuela. You think somebody didn't already have that message? Yeah, I think they,
especially by boat, right?
I would think so. We severed diplomatic ties back in 2019 with Venezuela.
Yeah.
And in this article, at least from the State Department, it says the U.S. severed the diplomatic ties with Venezuela, so no longer has the ability to provide emergency services or consular assistance to U.S. citizens in the country. There's no safe way to travel to Venezuela. People should avoid traveling to the country by any means.
Yeah.
Tourists have a high risk of being detained if they accidentally step a few feet over the border.
Yeah.
Wow. Violent crimes such as homicide, armed robbery, kidnapping, carjacking, and common in Venezuela. Travelers face an increased risk of using unregulated taxis, international airport, using ATMs. Dangerous Colombian terrorist groups operate in Venezuela's border areas with Colombia, Brazil, Guyana. Security forces have detained U.S. citizens for up to 5 years without respect for due process. If tourists are detained, the U.S. is generally not informed about the detainees, who will be cut off from communications and subject to inhumane torture. They warn of severe beatings, prolonged restraints in stress positions, and waterboarding. And that's according to former detainees that have a working knowledge of all that kind of stuff.
First-hand knowledge.
Yeah. And any American with plans to travel to or from Venezuela should not rely on government assistance and should create a proof of life plan prior to leaving.
How about just not
It
go?
doesn't even sound good.
Yeah, just not
Well,
go.
I was checking the rates to see if there were some travel deals.
Some cruises.
It might be a good time right now.
Go through
If you're looking to save a few dollars, you might want to check that out.
Yeah.
And see.
As long as you go with body armor and a few rifles and pistols.
Yeah, you would need something in there. I mean, I'm reading this. I'm thinking, well, who would go? But there is people. There are people.
There are people that would. Yeah,
they would go.
Yep.
That one can't be that bad.
But only those with ties to Venezuela somehow or something like that.
And there's a lot of people in the country with ties to Venezuela.
Yeah, there is.
In fact, I've talked to some of them before that want to caution us on a regular basis about our politics going more socialist. And they've seen what destruction can do.
Yeah.
And there's people in this country like that are warning us all the time. Right. Like what they see is what they saw in Venezuela.
Well, yeah.
And it's road to destruction.
Yeah. And, socialism is like just the first step to communism too. There's not a whole lot of separation between the two. And, people need to understand that we've fought against communism for decades. And well, actually probably more than a century.
Now we got people embracing it.
Yeah, I know. I think it goes back to the failure of our education system to actually educate people of what all these forms of government is, what our government is, and our history and that kind of stuff. Our education system, I think, is over time has completely failed, and it needs to be totally revamped.
And you've been on the board of some education board.
Yeah, for 8 years, I was on a school board,
Yeah.
and it wasn't like it is now. I
Mhm.
mean, now I'm hearing things from teachers like, in high school, the students don't even have to attend class and sign in on a computer or something like that. They don't take attendance anymore. And, and they brag about graduation rates and all this other kind of stuff, but I guess the literacy rate or the, uh, basically at grade of where they're supposed to be is something like 27%. And it's, and we just need to,
Yeah.
uh, and our school boards have to be strong to change because it's hard for a school board to override, you know, what's going on to get our education back where it needs
Well,
to
you
be.
got a superintendent surrounded by experts and lawyers telling you this is the way to go,
Right.
and the board members are sometimes don't have
Yeah.
enough.
And I was talking to Carbone about this. It's like, the numbers in our public schools are dropping because people are choosing to go to private charter
Yeah,
schools and that kind
yeah.
of stuff.
It's
Because
still less than 10% of
yeah,
Arizona, but it's growing.
yeah, but the administration keeps growing, even though the student numbers are dropping.
Yeah, like
and
every principal has to have 2 assistants now.
yeah, yeah. Well, I think it's even worse than that. But
Yeah.
um, and I came up through a family of educators. My dad,
Mm.
mom, sister, brother-in-law, were all started in education. And my dad was a principal at a couple schools and stuff like that. And it didn't used to be that way. And when we've done this before. We have the little wheel that we spin,
Mhm.
that Gilbert came up with, asking the young kids questions about, our
Just
history. And
rudimentary questions, but
yeah,
it's good ones, good
yeah, they're
questions.
good questions, and they're not difficult. You just
No.
have to have some, knowledge have been instructed along the way, and you can tell it quickly separates who's homeschool, private school, and public school. And it's like
Yeah.
night and day.
It was. I mean, we asked, "Where do you go to school?" Homeschool, and then after they blow it all away.
Yeah, yeah,
And you ask them
exactly.
an easy question, they answer it and follow it up with a bunch of stuff related to it that, we didn't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it was kinda remarkable. My daughter is LD, learning disabled, and
Mhm,
then learning disabled, and they wanted me to pull her out of school and put her in something like special
mhm,
classes and ride a special bus and all that stuff.
right.
No, no. Kept her in school, but they gave her some additional help.
Mhm,
Like, she could go take her test at the nurse's office where she had a little more time
yeah,
and could focus and all that, and we did that. And she took advantage of that, like, in the 9th and 10th grade until she started getting the swing of it and was
mhm,
glad to join our class again. But apparently, that goes along with any kind of disability, whether it's LD or you have a attention deficit disorder
right,
or some other kind of trauma or something.
right,
You get those special things to try to get you through a period.
yeah,
Well, a new trend now is in the colleges, or people are claiming
right,
all these different things. And it's to the tune of 30-40% in a lot of major Ivy League schools are
mhm,
claiming disability
yeah,
so that they can get a calculator to take math tests, and they can get private time in a nurse's office and extra time on a time test. You get extra time to complete it in college.
yeah. I saw some of those numbers, and
It
it's
was
incredible.
crazy. I
Yeah,
mean, Gutfeld went through it last night. I was like
yes,
shocked that they were doing that. But my daughter had to do it for a short time to get through because she legitimately, I mean, went to
mhm.
a couple different psychiatrists and
Well,
stuff.
and there are legitimate, but it's not
Yeah.
40% of the student body.
No, and she
It's
worked hard to get out of it,
yeah,
to get back to reality. And look what she's been. I mean, she's become awesome. She's a great manager at Roadhouse, and you know, she
yeah,
has like 800 employees going through working for her.
yeah, yeah, and, when they went through it, it wasn't, like junior colleges and stuff like that. It
Oh,
was
these were
like
major.
major, historically well thought of universities that now a degree from there really means nothing. In fact, it's
No,
probably worse than,
me,
because
me,
you have that huge debt and the degree really it doesn't do anything for you.
yeah. I think on the Gutfeld show they were talking about a nursing student that claimed it so that
Yeah,
she had to sit alone in taking the test because she she got disrupted by people. Like,
Yeah, she
so
couldn't be around people.
could be around people.
Nurse couldn't be around people. Yeah, okay.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
You know, but they came up with that
Yeah.
at the. I mean, these are educators.
Yeah.
So this is a good idea.
Yeah, and like they said, the tests are constructed so they're for certain time periods, so it does put you under a little bit of stress,
Right.
because they got to see how you're going to react under certain situations. And if the time goes away, if I have all
It
day,
reflects on your score.
yeah, I can use Chat GPT and Google, and I can get a lot of things right on the test.
And I mentioned my daughter who's LD and all that, but can you imagine? I can't imagine who she would be today if I agreed with the psychologist and put her into special classes, out of the school.
Yeah,
She wouldn't be anywhere near she is. She would be, a Somalian.
Yeah.
Because she was immersed in success, and she was immersed around success, and she wanted to be there. She was encouraged, to do all that. And without that, she would not have had the drive she does now.
Well, even young adults that truly have significant disabilities, mental disabilities, they don't want to be separated out. They want to be with everybody else.
Yeah.
I mean, that's their goal.
Right.
They want to be with everybody else, and so separating out. I understand like speech therapy or something like that, where you get your regular classes, then on top of it,
You don't want to slow down the
therapy.
class.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But use some sense about it too. Get them engaged, get them going. And my daughter's a product of that, of not giving up on her. And she keeps going out. Now she's valued.
Yeah. Yep.
Other than otherwise she'd. The psychologist literally told us she'd probably never graduate high school, and she'd probably be living at home, but she'll be okay. But she'll be living at home probably, and not. I'm like, no, she's got to get out of the house. You don't understand, Doc. This girl's got to go.
Yeah.
So we devised a plan. We'll be right back.
Beautiful weekend weather, starting with 70 and sunny today, 45 and clear tonight. Sunny at 72 tomorrow, 47 on Saturday night. Sunday, mostly sunny at 74, 48 on Sunday night.
Yuma, the Great American RV Roadshow Super Sale is underway.
Aggressive end-of-season clearance prices have been rolling out all week at the Yuma County Fairgrounds.
This holiday season, treat yourself to the gift of travel with a new RV from one of the world's largest traveling RV sales.
Deals this big won't wait, and neither should you.
RVs cost less at the Great American RV Roadshow Super Sale at the Yuma County Fairgrounds.
Parking and admission are free. Hurry, sale ends Sunday.
Presented by RV Country.
At Exceptional Community Hospital, we are redefining what emergency care should feel like. Fast, personal, and compassionate. Our experienced ER physicians and staff are here 24/7 to care for your unexpected illness or injury. Don't wait for emergency care when you can be seen in minutes. With short wait times, you'll get the prompt attention you need because every minute matters. And if your recovery takes longer, we provide the inpatient care you deserve. Exceptional Community Hospital. Compassionate care. Exceptional service.
Well, it's all fun and games until you're stuck with bad internet. Not so much fun. Say goodbye to bad internet. Say hello to local support from a company that believes in better. Say goodbye to the spinning wheel of doom and the regular equipment rebooting, and say hello to a hassle-free experience. Say goodbye to the internet struggles of yesterday and say hello to a provider that fits our community and provides a product and service that's locally rooted right here in our hometown. Find out more at allofiber.com. That's allofiber.com.
Since 1905, the Yuma County Chamber of Commerce has been the voice for business in Greater Yuma. Want to stay informed about Yuma's business community? The Chamber connects you with local leaders, business and marketing opportunities, and advocacy that ensures Yuma stays a great place for your business to grow and thrive. Serving all of Yuma and Yuma County, including the Kokopah and Quishan nations, the Chamber strengthens partnerships that move our region forward. Be part of Yuma's business network. Call Valeria or Ashley today at 928-782-2567.
We're the comfort experts, people you can trust. Ask our customers. That's why they count on us. Over 50 years of service keep us going strong. We've got a name you can depend upon. Hansburger Refrigeration and Electric. Hansburger, count on us.
Hey, Yuma, it's DJs for PJs time. That's right. We're on a mission to collect new, warm pajamas for families in need. Swing by our radio station or Avenir Financial at 1780 South 1st Avenue and on North Frontage Road in the foothills or any local Little Caesars Pizza and drop them off before December 14th. Every pajama helps bring a little comfort this winter. Let's come together and make sure everyone in Yuma has something cozy to snuggle up in.
I know that hiring can be challenging. Someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now you can meet them fast on ZipRecruiter.
Build your team, build it sooner. Meet your man on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
There's a man in D.C. He stands 6'3". He's fighting for you. He's fighting for me. He'll bring that woman.
Hey, I'm 60 KBLU, Russ Park with you and Greg Wilkins here.
Great morning.
Hey, that is. It's going to be nice.
Yeah.
Keep your head
Yes.
down. DC pipe bomber.
Yeah.
I'm confused, Greg. Janine Barrero's doing a conference. They arrested a 30-year-old Brian Cole Jr., but it was a few weeks ago,
right,
that they were announcing they know who it is, and it's a female that's actually a police officer in DC. I guess that theory was gone now.
Well, it might have been a ruse too.
Who knows?
Yeah. If once it broke that they knew who it was, it maybe put out that it was a female just to deflect so the guy wouldn't.
Well, they even mentioned the lady's name. Like they knew who she was. She worked for the DC police at the time.
When I listened to Dan Bongino, he indicated that there was more to come in this thing. So I'm wondering if there's more involved. And I don't want to start another conspiracy theory. There's so many running around now, but I think they have to finish the investigations to find out everything that's going on.
Well, look, 5 years, really? How long did it take to find the J6 people that set foot in the building?
Yeah. Well, it
took like an hour.
Yeah, obviously. And that was one of the things that came up, is that there's a reason why the Biden administration sat in the investigation, the DOJ and FBI under Biden.
Well, they threw their hands up on it and said, no, can't find them.
Yeah, well, it's like the cocaine in the White House. I mean,
Yeah.
there's so many cameras in the White House. It's like, come on.
And they destroyed it. And I heard they can take the fingerprints off the the plastic that they could have picked it up.
Take
Plastic
fingerprints
baggie.
off plastic. You can take fingerprints off of paper.
Yeah.
Which is something I didn't know. And that's how a lot of people, that do bomb threats through the mail or whatever, they don't use gloves when they're handling the envelope, or handle the envelope at some time, or they lick the thing, so they got DNA. And I mean, they can do amazing things now. I mean, you can get fingerprints. There's so many things they have now.
According to Janine Pereiro, the cell phone pings that connected the defendant walking along the area with the video that we had. But wait a minute. It took 5 years for you to look at it?
Well, that's why all these people in the FBI are gone.
5 years, right?
Yeah, I know.
And the cell phone ping, we know quite famously, is how they found all the J6 guys that were walking behind the velvet ropes.
Yeah. Well, and that's why Bongino's saying that there's a reason why they didn't run this investigation. That really makes sense when he said that. There's a reason why they put this in the cold case file.
Well, And remember, they found the law. They found the explosives, and they took
Mhm.
a picture or something of it.
Right.
What didn't really make sense is that it had like an egg timer on it. Now, if it had an egg timer, it's only going to be good for an hour or something.
Yeah.
And we know they'd been there for like a day or half a day.
Mhm.
So
Well,
it
yeah.
didn't make sense. But they said they were very valuable and all that. And they blew them up. So there was no evidence of them ever existing.
Yeah.
No fingerprints or ability to get fingerprints, but they were too dangerous. I mean, granted, we blow a lot of stuff up just like that, just for safety and all, but
Yeah.
they've taken things like that too and taken fingerprints off. They didn't even try.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And, from what they said, the bombs just didn't go off. He didn't rig the timers right or something like that. But yeah, it was actually full blown explosive bomb. He
That's what
just
they
didn't-
say. I don't know that I trust them. It might have been road flares for all I know.
There you go.
But they went into this Brian Cole Jr.'s house and they found, firearms and they found
Yes.
explosive material,
Same
and
material.
passion.
Yeah, he's continued to buy explosive material to make bombs and stuff.
Yeah.
Yep.
So he also lived with his mom and his sister, very quiet, didn't make a big noise, small footprint.
No criminal background.
No.
In fact, they ran a bail bonds company, I think, if I remember
Yes.
right. Yeah.
And he'd work a few hours a day there.
Yeah.
So he had a job working for dad, probably. Well, it doesn't say dad, lived with his mom and his sister.
Yeah.
Let's take a phone call. You're on the air.
One of the great things that's happened with Adam Schiff getting his butt spanked and more or less kicked out of there,
Wow.
they lost a lot of their protection.
Oh, yes.
They lost a lot of protection. The fact that Donald J. Trump got elected is one thing, but Adam Schiff still had his octopus reins all over the Congress. But since he's gotten spanked, a lot of this is coming out to play. They no longer have the protection.
Yeah, I heard that the other day that Schiff isn't as well protected. He wasn't just a protector; he was protected.
Yep,
And
he was.
some of that has crumbled. He's supposed to be sweating it out, but I'll believe it when I see it.
Yeah, like I said the other day, we're seeing a lot of these things going down. Even what's her name from Pelosi? Leatherface. Her and all of them. A lot of things are coming out against them. I want to see what's going to happen to Walt.
Oh, yeah.
With all the crap that's going on, we're seeing a lot of stuff going down, but we want to see prosecution. That's what we want to see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I agree.
I'm from Minnesota, and man, they are on fire out there because the Attorney General and Walls, several, and Omar, they're all in on it and receiving funds, some of those illegal funds, and so it's really going to be interesting. And 50% of the Somalis have fraudulent immigration visas, and it's going to be really interesting what happens. And of course, everybody knows Omar married a brother to skirt the immigration laws, so it's going to be interesting what happens.
Well, Mr. Gregg, the thing is, we've known it for so long, but yet she hasn't been prosecuted about her marrying her brother coming in there illegally. So that's what I'm saying. With Schiff, with all the powers that he had, he was able to protect all these people. But we're seeing the domino effects. But we, as Americans, we want to see prosecution. That's what we want to see.
Well, we got Pam Bondi and Cash Patel and Bogino kind of running the show. Besides just Trump. And what an amazing cabinet! I mean, I've never seen a cabinet the way he's got them. I mean, they are like
all
on
smart.
It. Oh, they're on it. Yeah.
So it's a team. There's no I. I mean, sometimes Trump gets away, says those things, but there's no I in team. Yeah. And he has an excellent team. Greg, you being in leadership, I've been in leadership. We've always said there's no I in team. It's us. It's we.
Yep.
We as one. A glove.
Yep.
Your glove is as strong as your weakest thread.
Yeah.
And you know what? Trump is showing. All right. Anyway, that's what I wanted to say.
Thank you, man. Thank you,
Thanks, Gilbert.
Mr. Gilbert. Yeah. This pipe bomber didn't have a lot of friends outside of his family and all that stuff. Bail bondsman in jail. But I'm shocked. I took so long we had that misdirection with that girl cop, what they said it was.
Mhm.
And in fact, they said that the video shows that this person walked with a certain gait, which that girl does because of an injury when she was a swim meet.
Yeah.
Does this 30-year-old swim?
Well, and then they say they tracked him down because he had this pair of tennis shoes, and they're like 200,000 pairs of those tennis shoes. So they tracked all those because it was a unique tennis shoe. And then the backpack was, they figured out, where the backpack was, and they put all these data points and to see what one come together on certain people who bought tennis shoes, who bought the backpack, and yeah.
Oh, really?
It was amazing.
Oh, they went through his Nordstrom's file.
Yes.
Man.
Yeah. That's how.
And it took 5 years. I'm still just.
Well, I think what
Still,
happened
they didn't want to find him for 5.
Yeah, for 4 of the 5 years. Yeah, but yeah, that's why it took so long because that's how they narrowed it down.
But now I'd like to know why they didn't want to find him. Why?
What exactly? And that's what Bongino was alluding to, that there's other things that are going to come out.
I mean, the pipe bombs were actually in place for many hours before. They were put out there the day before. They were put out there on January 5th at night.
Right.
And on January 6th, they were discovered at the same time. And the Capitol Police had to rush to the RNC and DNC headquarters, both of them, to cordon it off and make sure everybody was safe.
Yeah.
At the same time that the Trump speech was ending and people were moving to the Capitol.
Yeah.
It's too coincidental.
Yeah. Well, and to me, it's key that they put a pipe bomb at the Democrat headquarters and a pipe bomb at the Republican headquarters. So what was the motive? Basically, I hate everybody.
Distraction.
Yeah.
Well, that's a theory that it was a distraction for the J6 setup.
Yeah. With the 274 agents in the crowd at on the January 6th.
And the refusal to bring in the National Guard, which Trump asked for. And you see how hot Nancy got? This was in the last few weeks.
Yeah.
When they said, why didn't you? It was up to the president. It was not me. It was the president, which we know is on record as a lie.
Yeah.
I mean, there's documentation that he asked for it.
Mm-hmm.
And that Nancy was the one that stopped it.
Well, she was in charge of security for the House.
Right. Trump can't just override that, apparently.
Yeah. I
Couldn't.
didn't know that, but yeah.
And there were so many other things that went on, even on the J6 hearings, that are just ridiculous. Like they would not interview the chief of police in charge of the Capitol Police.
Yeah.
Because they fired him and they said, well, we only talk to current employees. Yeah. And he came out with a story of the cover-up, and so they just destroyed him, fired him, and then said, we're not going to talk to you, and you can go on some obscure channel and tell your story, but it won't mean anything. Yeah. So it was quite
amazing. I think it's like there's news every day, coming out. It's just, the speed of what's going on and what they're doing. And I still think there's going to be a lot more things coming out over the next several months as everybody gets
I hope so.
lined up. Yeah.
I hope so, because Trump supporters and people who voted for him are expecting great things. And we've had some great things, but they're expecting way more than this. Well, they want J6 wrapped up. They want, some understanding wrapped up.
All these senators and congressmen.
The deep
state,
state.
Mortgage fraud and all this stuff.
Yeah, and we're finding more, but we know that there's vast amounts we haven't found, and we haven't really gotten a major player. Yeah. Like the Adam Schiff or Nancy Pelosi, if they're involved. They haven't taken a perp walk, and they need to go down and get the mugshot like Trump did. Maybe they can sell it like Trump did and put it on a shirt. I'd put Nancy's on a shirt.
On a dartboard?
Sure. I know you got to run, my friend.
Yeah.
So have a good golf game. Enjoy yourself.
All right.
We'll be here.
Thanks, Russ. All right.
We'll be thinking of you.
Well, somebody's got to do that.
Okay. Well, I appreciate you stepping up for us. Well, Greg's taken off. Florida sheriff calls a massive drug operation in his state. They caught some in his state. He referenced Breaking Bad. I don't know if anyone's seen Breaking Bad. Breaking Bad is a great series on pay for TV. I don't remember if it was HBO or what it was, but Breaking Bad was about a drug dealer that was a school teacher, became a drug dealer, and how intense it became and how big he became. This was 92,000 pounds of illegal substances and a trove of military-grade hardware. He said it was Breaking Bad's on steroids. They arrested a Maxwell Horvath, and he's charged with 36 counts of possession of a firearm and convicted felon. He's a convicted felon at 26. 2 counts of possession of a short-barreled machine gun, possession of a short-barreled rifle, more charges of explosive devices. Even the police department, sheriff's office was pretty shocked at the treasure trove. Let's take a phone call. You're on the air.
Dang it, you never give me a chance, or you never give the guest a chance to defend themselves until after I call. They've already gone.
Yeah, that's good. We schedule that, actually.
Well, I'll correct you.
Okay, go ahead.
Adam Shifty Shift, but Adam Shift.
Yeah. I do. I guess I know that, but I hear shift enough that I repeat it. I do.
I got you. Anyways, I wanted to tell him. Sure, there is a thing known as a double tap. He said there's no such thing as double tap.
Well,
there is when you're holding a pistol to somebody's head.
Well, right, and I think he would agree with that. Now I'll say he agree with that. He doesn't think that's in military. There's a double tap type.
I got you. He didn't clarify, and he's not here to defend himself, is he?
Plus, it wouldn't register anyway as a double tap because it was an hour and a half later the second shot. That's not a double tap.
No, that one definitely wouldn't. I hadn't heard it was an hour and a half until your show. So hey,
I learned
something new from you today.
I never heard it. Yeah, that's an unusual thing. I never heard it until he said it either. I did not know, but he has military connections I don't have, obviously.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so
hour
and a half, and then back on the boat, calling for help on the radio, and retrieving the drugs out of the water. Yeah,
I'm like, we better go get him. Time for a second shot.
So I guess we won't hear a lot more about it. It's just going to fade now because no one's going to come out and apologize.
Nah. So did you hear any more what they're using? Is it all artillery or guns, or are there some?
Well, see, I still think of it that way because I'm not military. No, I have not heard. In fact, Greg didn't know either whether it was a gun or what kind of missile it was because they had everything available. They had drones flying, Hellfire missiles. They had a lot of stuff around.
Oh, I'm sure.
They had the whole arsenal out there. They could have pulled the trigger on anything they wanted to use.
Very good.
Yeah,
I support that effort.
Yeah. Well, I tried to find out for you, but there's still no indication yet what they use.
Well, I appreciate that, buddy.
All right, man. You take care.
Bye.
Bye. Yeah, shift, not shift. Yeah, I got it. Well, anyway, this guy that they caught, Maxwell Horvath. The investigation date back September, when the sheriff, Wayne Ivey, said that agents were purchasing illegal substances. And they list the drug here. I'd never heard of it. I don't know what it is. Tropical grain, concentration of 7-hydroxy. I can't pronounce the whole thing. AK7OH. I don't know what it is. But apparently he's not supposed to be selling it. He gave the tour. He gave a tour of the agent to the agents, like, "Hey, come on in. Let me show you my business." Yeah, he had Overseas Organics, which produces substance that he's selling. He's proud of his business. This thing looked like a Breaking Bad on steroids. It had lined up all sorts of different chambers, rooms, sterile environments. He was taking this substance, whatever it was, extracting it, putting it in compression machines. And he showed him all the rifles and everything, all that. So they did a raid, and that's when they went in and raided it. They said it was $4.7 million of substance, whatever that is, street value. IEDs. I don't know who needs 5 IEDs. I don't keep IEDs at the house. 12 rifles, 17 pistols, 3 shotguns, 2 fully automatic machine guns, short-barreled rifle, a revolver, 3 suppressors, thousands of rounds of ammunition, which everybody has. Grenade simulators, 50 pounds of precursor chemical to make explosives. The city of Palm Bay police chief Moreno Aguelo says we're not just talking about drugs. We're talking about explosive devices, things the military are utilizing and other countries are utilizing all over the world to take out populations of people. It's the largest seizure of its kind in the country, and that's according to the Sheriff Wayne Ivey there in Brevard County. He said, this is what danger looks like. Everything that you see is a red flag for disaster. The guy was making his own suppressors, fully automatic weapons, explosive devices. He's either looking to engage in war, looking to arm and furnish it to those that are. He even had a 50 caliber on a tripod ready to do some serious damage. I guess so. So Horvath, he was first arrested at the age of 17. Yeah, he had previously served 2 years in prison, 2 years in federal probation for possession of explosive devices and MDMA trafficking. So at 26 years old, this guy is already a career offender. He has no regard for the sanctity of life. 26. 26, I'm assuming he's going away. If the system works, then he'll be going away. Mondani, he's the new New York mayor that hasn't taken office yet, hasn't taken the oath. He's the elect. He said Thursday, he's already talking about programming and what he's going to do and policies. He is going to stop clearing homeless encampments when he takes office. And this has been a long-standing practice now for Mayor Eric Adams. Eric Adams has been doing that. He launched the policy in 22. So he's not going to clear them. In other words, go take the police and roust them and get them out of there and say, you got to move along, take your tents, get out, get rid of them and all that. He said he's going to focus long-term housing solutions, whether it's supportive housing, whether it's rental housing, whatever kind of housing it is. Homeless is all too often treated as if it's a natural part of living in the city. He believes it reflects the political choice made time and time again. Well, the New York City comptroller, Brad Lander, he released an audit back in 2023, about the homeless population. They looked at between March and November of 2022 on this initiative of sweeping the homeless encampment sites. They said it completely failed to connect homeless New Yorkers with services. The evidence is clear. By every measure, the homeless sweeps failed. And he did the report. He said, and he noted 2,308 individuals were present during city cleanups, when they sweep them, and only 119 accepted temporary shelter. A follow-up review found that nearly 1/3 of cleared encampments saw homeless activity return. So we might as well just give up on it, just not do it anymore. And why is he going to build all this housing and everything if the 2,300 that they scooped up refused housing anyway? Only 119 accepted housing. So who are you going to put in the housing if the homeless doesn't want to go there? City has received more than 35,000 complaints about encampments just in this year, and not a lot's being. Well, Adam is out sweeping it, but as Brad Lander says, the city comptroller, they just return. They keep coming back. Yeah, probably because you've made a mess. You allow it, and now they can't quit. But they say it's going to be felt. It'd be fun to see what happens. Mandani, I think, is going to tank this New York. He doesn't believe it. He believes his policies are going to work. But I think stuff like that's been tried before. Get rid of police, do some social work, and everyone will be happy and people will understand. Well, I hate to disappoint. I don't think it's going to work. We'll see, though. Give it a good shot. We'll be right back. AM 560, KBLU.
There's a man in D.C. He stands 6'3". He's fighting for you. He's fighting for me.
Is News Talk 560 KBLU, Yuma.
Convicted bomber this day in court. I'm Kathleen Maloney, Fox News. Brian Kohler, Virginia, will go before a federal judge today. He's accused of putting pipe bombs at the headquarters of RNC and DNC nearly 5 years ago. He is now facing 2 federal charges. There are 2 pieces of evidence that investigators say were crucial in landing this breakthrough: Cole's credit card history and cell phone records. Throughout 2019 and 2020, they say he bought several materials that match the components of the bombs. We're talking galvanized pipes and end caps, battery connectors, kitchen timers, and electrical wire. They also say cell phone pings indicate Cole's phone was in the area of RNC and DNC the night of the crime. Fox's Madeline Rivera, Homeland Security arrests dozens of illegal immigrants in New Orleans in the last 24 hours.
Over 30 arrests have been made so far in an operation that set a goal of having some 5,000 people. Now, on Wednesday, as Operation Catahoula Crunch was just getting started, federal agents nabbed Binh Van To from Vietnam. DHS says he's in the U.S. illegally and was convicted of multiple crimes, including kidnapping, homicide, and assault with a deadly weapon. He was sentenced to 40 years but released on parole. DHS says the process is now underway to remove him from the country. With others suspected and convicted crimes range from sexual assault to child abuse and vehicle theft, they're all being processed to be deported.
Fox's Mike Tobin. The U.S. Southern Command says it has conducted another strike against a small boat in the Eastern Pacific. It's the 22nd strike the U.S. military has carried out against boats the Trump administration claims trafficking drugs. 4 people were killed in Thursday's strike, bringing to 87 the total number of people killed since those boat strikes began. On Wall Street, stock futures are trending mostly lower. Gold is up. America is listening to Fox News.
This holiday season, the Tunnel to Towers Foundation is delivering dozens of mortgage-free homes to deserving recipients during its annual Season of Hope. Tunnel to Towers welcomed U.S. Army Captain David Christopher into his mortgage-free smart home during a prior Season of Hope. David sustained catastrophic injuries in the line of duty. During this Season of Hope, let's make a difference in the lives of those who have sacrificed so much for our safety and freedom. Donate $11 a month to Tunnel to Towers at T2T.org.
So Pure Talk is offering unlimited talk, text, and data on a crazy fast 5G network for $29.95 a month for life. Not your phone's life, your life. This top-tier plan is normally $65 a month, but if you switch today, you'll save over 50% every month for the rest of your life. You might say it's the deal of your lifetime. Just dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe. Offer expires 12/7. Some restrictions apply. Details at puretalk.com.
From the Digital 11's information desk, I'm Givina Aguilera. The city of Yuma is launching a regional holiday food drive challenge. The food drive challenge runs from now until Friday, December 19th, and includes participation from the Yuma County, the city of San Luis, the city of Somerton, and the town of Wilson. The Cocopah tribe will also be collecting donations. Each jurisdiction will collect non-perishable food donations and deliver them to the Yuma Community Food Bank. You can drop off donations at several locations across the county. Arizona Top Education Leader visited Common Science Academy to recognize the school for its high academic performance. The school's math and language arts scores are well above the state average. Arizona Superintendent of Public Instruction Tom Horn says Gallon is a model for others across the state. Catch us on TV Saturday News 11 every weekday at 5, 6, and 10 p.m. for your latest local news, weather, and sports.
Well, it's all fun and games until you're stuck with bad internet. Not so much fun. Say goodbye to bad internet. Say hello to local support from a company that believes in better. Say goodbye to the wheel of doom and the regular equipment rebooting. And say hello to a hassle-free experience. Say goodbye to the internet struggles of yesterday and say hello to a provider that picks our community and provides a product and service that's locally rooted right here in our hometown. Find out more at allofiber.com. That's allofiber.com.
There's a man in DC.
AM 560 KPLU. Clark with you. It's 7:04 on a Friday after Friday. Ruth Milling sent me a note this morning. She said, "Good morning, Russ. Thanks for being the auctioneer last night. It was so much fun. Donations to will help our scholarship fund." That's the Tea Party out there in the foothills, Colorado River Tea Party, which has been going on. How long? When did that start? That started like around 2000 or something. It's been going on for a long time. Don Shooter was one of the first chairman of that. And the first meeting we had at the Tea Party, the first rally, our first rally out of the West was probably 2,500 people. It was a big deal. And it's still going strong here. It's very unusual. Tea parties have dried up all over, disbanded, whatever, and gone on to other things. Usually good people in them, and they find other activities, whether it's in different organizations to support and work with. But, it's been good here, and it's in good hands with Milne, really good hands. And they're raising money for scholarships, even. Yeah, that was good, very good for a good meeting last night. Omar, Representative Elon Omar. Well, I'm starting this. Let me tell you, the phone lines are open 928-344-5258. She's been a controversy since she first started. Controversially in the country, she married her brother to get here. And they're saying now in this article that she personally profited from the welfare fraud scandal that's been plaguing her state right now. They're saying it's over $1 billion. Some saying it's going to go to more because we haven't discovered it all. But it's so outrageous what's going on, and it happened so quickly, mostly in the Somali communities. Well, Elon Omar is held events at one of the restaurants that was, the owner is one of the big ones in the fraud, and now convicted of fraud. In fact, when I say fraud, this was the owner of this restaurant that Elon is friends with and associated with spent $2 million of the fraud money on the Minneapolis mansion and $9,000 per month on a shopping happen at Nordstrom's. Needless to say, he was spending extravagantly. Well, she also had a staffer, somebody who worked for her directly. Yeah, Guhad Hashi. He's a Democratic activist and former Omar campaign official. He actually ran her campaign for a couple times. He pled guilty to running a fake food site, Advanced Youth Athletic Development. He claimed the group served 5,000 meals a day to children, pocketing millions, according to the Justice Department. Now, he worked in the 2018-2020 campaign. He was the enforcer who oversaw voter turnout. And Omar was in part of his commercials too. She actually did some work with him on promoting his illegal business. As of November, there's 78 people have been charged with what's considered now the largest pandemic relief scheme in the United States. And Small Business Administration is investigating a network of Somali groups in Minnesota that are tied to Minnesota Governor Tim Walz. Tampon Tim may be involved in this whole thing. Enough to bring fury from Trump. He doesn't usually get that excited, but he's excited about this one. Agitated, more like it. Let's take a phone call. You're on the air.
What can shut down the entire United States government faster than anything?
Who can?
1 inch of snow.
Oh, did it shut down today? You can't do your tours?
No, I'm doing the tours, but everybody's all excited because of the fact that we got all the snow, and it's absolutely beautiful, and it just keeps coming down.
Wow!
So everybody, we went to a big dinner last night at Ocean Air, and which was really funny because everybody ended up asking if they could just join the tour today. So it's going to be quite the group.
Have you started yet?
Huh?
Is
No,
it-
we go at 1 o'clock.
At 1 o'clock your time, 10 o'clock our time then.
Right.
All right. I would join,
So-
but I can't get there in time.
Yeah, well, I'll do it when next time you're out here. But I don't think we're going to get the White House tour tomorrow, which is what we really wanted.
You
but,
think the snow will shut it down?
I don't know, but we're crossing our fingers on this one because of the fact that they really did a great job on Millennia did. I mean, he took it back to it's not the crazies anymore. It's going to be just a ball. And so, anyway, everybody have a wonderful weekend. And that's the other thing. A friend brought me last year. A couple of people tried to send me tamales from Yuma. And whoever stole them, everybody just kept stealing them. The ones were stolen from FedEx, and the other one was stolen from UPS. And they just told me flat out, they go, between the dogs and the people that can smell tamales, there's no way that it'll ever get to you. And I said, okay. So anyway, my friend brought in frozen tamales. So I have a big thing of frozen tamales in my freezer right now. So I'm pretty excited about that.
No one wants to steal the frozen ones.
No. So anyway, all right, everybody have a wonderful weekend. And stay warm out there, guys. You guys are lucky. Bye.
Bye. Yeah. Well, according to my fact checker, who also lives right outside D.C. in Virginia, he checked to see if D.C. was shut down already. And according to the current website, status is open. Federal agencies in the Washington, D.C. area are open. Employees are expected to begin the workday on time. Normal operating procedures are in effect. And see, that's because you have Trump as president. Forget 1 inch of snow. Get to work. You see, the current Washington, D.C. area operating status can be found on OPM's website or by downloading the OPM Alert mobile app. OPM is the Office of Personal Management. Where can I get, this is a question, where can I get additional information about operating status announcements? OPM's government-wide dismissal and closure procedures provides information on operating status announcements along with other workplace flexibility. So thanks. So George, it's still operating. You'll be fine, George. Oh, Edward also tells me the appeals court allows Trump to keep National Guard in D.C. Good news. Good news. They're probably needed. Here's what Trump said after he found out about the Somali community in Minnesota, which Waltz disagrees with. He says it's not just Somalis. We're a successful state, highly rated, AAA bonded, business love us. So we have lots of criminals of different nationalities. Well, that's good to know. So it's not just the Somalis. He said these Somalians have taken billions of dollars out of our country. They've taken billions and billions of dollars. They have a representative, Ilhan Omar, who they married her brother. She should be thrown the hell out of our country. And most of those people, they have destroyed Minnesota. She should not be, and her friends shouldn't be allowed, frankly. They shouldn't have been allowed to be Congress people, okay? They shouldn't have been allowed to be Congress people because they don't represent the interest of our country. Yeah, like I said, Trump is fairly agitated. I don't think he's happy with the whole situation. He's usually not as animated. Democratic state election board under fire after ICE arrested superintendent. I don't know if you heard about this, but there's a superintendent. His name's Robert. that was in the country illegal. Andre Roberts, there he is, Andre Roberts. And it's quite the story behind it once I started reading and figuring him out. But he was a superintendent, I think, in an Iowa school. That's not where he started. He started off in Maryland, and I guess he put in bids to become a superintendent. And there was an opening, and he got interviewed, and he said, people thought, the school board thought, you're the perfect fit. An illegal alien that has a criminal record. So we're going to put you in charge of our schools. I don't think they really knew he was criminal record. Somebody must have hidden that. But he was finally registered to vote also in Maryland. He was in Maryland. That's where he was working before as his teacher and all that. Well, the House Committee on House Administration, Brian Still, Laurel Lee out of Florida, Brian Still out of Wisconsin, they sent a letter to the Maryland State Board of Electors Administration, or the administrator, Jared DeMarnis, demanding answers regarding Andre Roberts. How was he registered to vote in the state, even though he doesn't have a citizenship and all that. Well, what they got from those people was some redacted stuff. I guess everyone redacts it. You don't have to be State Department. They'll redact it. The letter says that the committee is concerned about the integrity and accuracy of Maryland's citizenship verification process, and therefore the state's voter rolls. To assist the committee's oversight on this matter, please provide the following information as soon as possible. And they hit him with some questions, and the questions. The committee is pressing for details, asking if Roberts still a registered voter in Maryland. Has Mr. Roberts ever voted in Maryland? If yes, what elections did he participate in? Was Mr. Roberts ever mailed an absentee ballot? If yes, for which election? How does the State Board of Elections fulfill their obligations under 52 U.S.C. Code 2507 to conduct a general program to remove ineligible voters from the rolls? Well, Maryland is pretty much Democrat control. Office of the Governor, the Secretary of State, Attorney General, both chambers of the state legislature. Roberts worked in the Baltimore City School between August 1st and August of 2001, June of 2010. Teacher, resident principal at various points in his career, all of that kind of stuff. Now, Immigrations and Customs Enforcement official arrested Mr. Roberts, who originally from Guyana, in September. Roberts was working as a superintendent in Des Moines, Iowa, public school system at the time of his arrest. And of course, after he's arrested, it raises a lot of concern. People were outraged. Like, how dare you arrest a prominent person of this community? He's a superintendent of the school who's doing a great job and people love him. So they did a background check. See what they loved about him. Well, he has an arrest even before he got to the high-profile position. Included uncovering a lengthy criminal history stretching back to 1996, where he was charged with criminal possession of narcotics with intent to sell in New York. Discovered he was registered to vote in Maryland. It's illegal. Maryland, along with 5 other states, was additionally hit with lawsuits early in December filed by Justice Department Civil Rights for failure to produce their statewide voter registration list upon request. I see a theme here amongst the Democratic states and the Democratic cities. They don't give the government the records they ask for when it comes to SNAP benefits, registration benefits. They're hiding things. They are. The Department of Justice lawsuit against Maryland Board of Electors is a stark reminder of the deep state issues plaguing our voter system. Republican state delegate Matt Morgan, who was chair of the Maryland Freedom Caucus, said of Maryland's voter rolls. Now, for years, we've heard dismissals that non-citizens voting never happens. Yet Andre Roberts' story is irrefutable, proof of the contrary. Those revelations highlight serious flaws that undermine public trust and the integrity of our election. The Maryland Freedom Caucus supports the DOJ's efforts to protect our democracy, ensuring only citizens can vote. American Accountability Foundation, which is a nonprofit, filed a public records request to obtain Roberts' voting registration documents. Well, the Board of Electors elections, they returned a heavily redacted document that blacked out Robert's sex, whether he checked the citizenship box, the date of birth, and a lot of other information. Well, they were eventually able to get it all. After much complaints and re-asking, of course, that all takes time. And that's when they revealed that Robert, he had fraudulently stated he was an American citizen in the documents, and they hid that for whatever reason. Like that's secret information that he's a citizen. And according to Justin, he's the Restoring Integrity and Trust in Election CEO and president. He says when election officials attempt to hide eligibility records, the public loses the ability to verify that the law is being followed. Once the records were produced, we saw just how weak Maryland's safeguards really are. It's unfortunately too common around the country, and federal laws do little to help stop non-citizens from registering to vote. Board of Elections previously said Roberts did not vote in elections. They lied, of course. The records released by Maryland State Board of Elections confirmed that a non-citizen had successfully registered to vote in Maryland on at least 2 occasions. And this is all coming from the House committee. Yeah, the House Committee on House Administration. The situation prompts ongoing concerns that states are not verifying the citizenship of registrants. Oversight of federal election is critical to inform potential legislative reforms and safeguard the integrity of federal elections. The committee is therefore seeking information from Maryland State Board of Elections. Mr. Roberts repeatedly claimed U.S. citizenship also, and remained a registered voter in Maryland for years despite leaving the state over a decade ago. They filed a public records request for Mr. Roberts' voter registration application. The original release of the document contained heavy intentional redactions. Well, these recurring redactions are a problem. So Roberts is in custody right now. Roberts is, he was in possession when he attempted to flee law enforcement. I guess somebody let him know the jig's up. He was found with $3,000 cash, a Glock 9mm pistol, a hunting knife at the time of his arrest on October 2nd for being illegal. And now he's charged with being an illegal alien in possession of firearms, apparently, and there's a law against that. His education license is now no longer. It's revoked. And the Iowa Board of Education examiners said the district is now suing the executive search firm that helped hire Roberts for breach of contract, negligent misrepresentation, general negligence, and is also seeking monetary damages. You know, these executive search firms, I have been unhappy with some of them. I don't want to paint them all as the same, but I've been involved in using them before, like when we hired them to replace the CEO of the hospital. And what they do is they come down and they interviewed each one of us board members, each one, like, what are we looking for in the candidate? What kind of person are you looking for? What's needed in Yuma, Arizona for a CEO of the hospitals, which we shared in interviews individually, one at a time. They interviewed all of us individually, and so that they could get an understanding of what we were looking for. Well, then they go out and they find clients and constituents that sign on with them. See, you end up signing on with these headhunters. You know, they don't pull the whole country. They get people to sign on, or they find somebody that's not looking for a job, somebody and offer them opportunities to do that. So then they interview the applicant to see if they match. That's the idea. But here's the reality that I found anecdotally is they would find somebody that they want to help him get a job because they get paid to do that. And then they coach him on what the board is looking for. They're supposed to go out and find the person that matches. I found that what they do is they coach applicants to have the right answers. And we did that over at the Yuma Regional Medical Center, where we hired somebody that just seemed to fit everything we were looking for. It's like he knew the answers. We had to fire him in probably right out a year because he completely was doing an agenda that didn't resemble anything that we were looking for. He went a whole different way. And then it dawned on me that these recruiters are getting paid to place people, not necessarily getting paid to place the right person, just getting paid to place people. And they were successful in getting that done. It cost a lot of money to fire him and then hire the person we should have hired all along, which was I think he was the CFO at the time, Matt Waltz was I don't think it was Matt. It was Waltz. I'll think of that. But a wonderful CEO, wonderful man. Unfortunately, we lost him to cancer after a number of years, but he absolutely did a great job in representing this community and the hospital. And he was available all along. We overlooked him because we were listening to a headhunter. And I don't think it's an illegitimate business. I don't think it's a terrible business. It's just that use your head. Keep they may be selling you a bill of goods. Look out for it. You never know. I'm going to take a break and we'll be right back. AM 560 KBLU.
Beautiful weekend weather starting with 70 and sunny today, 45 and clear tonight. Sunny at 72 tomorrow, 47 on Saturday night. Sunday, mostly sunny at 74, 48 on Sunday night.
To be a part of Russ's show, call 928-344-5258. That's 928-344-5258.
At Hospice of Yuma, we believe that everyone deserves compassionate care, especially when it matters most. As the area's only nonprofit hospice, our mission is simple: to provide high-quality, compassionate care to all who need it, regardless of their ability to pay. Our team of skilled professionals and dedicated volunteers work tirelessly to ensure that your loved ones receive the care and support they deserve. We focus on comfort and dignity, helping families navigate this difficult time with grace and understanding. Choose Hospice of Yuma for quality care that puts you and your family first. For more information, please contact us at 928-343-2222.
What's up, Yuma, and hello, Russ Clark Show listeners. Johnny Porter here, and I just made the switch to Allo Fiber, and it's a game changer. Lightning fast speeds for streaming, working from home, and gaming. No buffering or slowed down speeds. It's time to ditch the glitch and switch to Allo Fiber.
It's pajama time, Yuma. Join Eldorado Broadcasters and Avenir Financial for DJs for PJs, collecting new, unused, warm pajamas for families in need. Now through December 14th, drop off donations at our radio station at 755 West 28th Street, Avenir Financial on South 1st Avenue and North Frontage Road in the foothills, and any local Little Caesars Pizza. Let's keep Yuma warm this holiday season.
There's a man in D.C. He stands 6'3". He's fighting for you. He's fighting for me.
AM 560 KBLU. Russ Clark with you on a Friday morning. It's 7:28. Phone line open 928-344-5258. My fact checker Edward sent this to me this morning. Piece from the Communist Manifesto, 1848. 10 steps from socialism to communism. And I know he put in there a comment that socialism looking for a way to get to communism, which is unfortunate. Oh, well, before I move on to that, the superintendent that I was talking about, Mr. Roberts, he also lied about his education, Georgetown University McDowell School of Business. But this has been disputed as Georgetown officials have no record of his attendance there. He also attended a doctoral program at Morgan State University from 2002 to 2007, but he did not complete the degree. There are questions about the accuracy of many of his claim qualifications, especially since he falsely presented having a doctorate in various applications. The fact that they never checked this education is a major red flag that someone at the Board of Education knew he was a fraud, as Georgetown has a program to highlight the graduates who rank in higher education. Wow, I didn't even know that. And he was an illegal alien, and he voted in Maryland. Was a principal and an educator for 10 years before he was the superintendent, and shouldn't have been in the country. The Communist Manifesto, 10 steps from socialism to communism. And I know Edward writes that the goal is to get to be communist. And he writes a comment, anyone who says they are following the policy program of socialism is either ignorant or lying about wanting communism. Let me see, the following will be pretty much generally acceptable. These are the 10 steps. Abolition of property in land and application of all rents of land to public purposes. So eliminate private property, put them to public purposes, which is what Mandani wants to do, own houses, own apartments, for homeless people and all that kind of stuff. Heavy progressive or graduated income tax, which we have, and they want more of it, pay your fair share type stuff. Tax the rich, tax the rich. Abolition of all rights of inheritance, and you do that by taxing it. Confiscation of the property of all immigrants and rebels. Centralization of credit in the hands of the state by means of a national bank with state capital and exclusive monopolies. Many have talked about digital currency that has to go through the state, which would resemble that. Centralization of the means of communication and transportation in the hands of the state. I could see where that would be. And I'm trying to think of how they're trying to do that now, but Biden, as you know, had people working within social media, communications and all that, and the newspaper and mainstream media on pushing the communication the way they wanted it. Elon Musk getting involved in X has been one of the better deals to start the breakdown of that. Centralization of the means. Let me see. Extension of factories and instruments of production owned by the state, which you see in communist countries. They just keep nationalizing it. They call it the nationalizer. The bringing into civilization of wastelands and the improvement of soil, generally in accordance with a common plan. And number 8, equal liability of all work, establishment of industrial armies, especially for agriculture, combination of agriculture, manufacturing industries, gradual abolition of all the distinction between town and country by a more equitable distribution of the populace over the country. Wow, that's been talked about. Free education for all children in public schools. Abolish children's factory labor and its abolition of children's factory labor in its present form. Combination of education with industrial production. I guess you could put it together. When, in the course of development, class distinctions have disappeared and all production has been concentrated in the hands of a vast association of the whole nation, public power will lose its political character. Political power, property so-called, is merely the organized power of one class for appeasing another. The Karl Marx work. We see Nancy Mace of South Carolina. She's trying to cut down on fraud. She's introduced a bill to require inclusion of a photo on all supplement nutrition assistance programs, SNAP. Right now, as you know, SNAP, and it's gone through a lot of rewrites. SNAP at one time was a coupon, basically. It wasn't cash, but it was a book where it had coupons worth $1, $5, $10, whatever. And you rip them out and use them just like you would a $1 bill, a $5 bill, and so on. And somehow the business would turn it back into the government and they would get reimbursed. So they didn't actually give cash to the people on food stamps at the time. They gave them a coupon book. And those coupons were later turned in by the businesses to get the cash back from the U.S. government. And now it's totally different. They don't have coupons anymore. In fact, they get a card, like a credit card. And there's money put on the credit card, so they can just go there and use it like anybody uses their credit card, except it's tax dollars. Excuse me. Nancy says that taxpayers have had enough of watching their hard-earned money and dollars abused by people with no legal right to these benefits. This isn't complicated. If you're eligible for SNAP, your photo goes on the card, and you're the only one who uses it, not fraudsters, not criminals, not someone borrowing the card. They have no right to use. This is a basic common sense, fairness, and protecting taxpayers and the American families who truly need food assistance. I don't see that going well with the left, but that's Nancy Mace, Republican out of South Carolina. Let's see, Congress, Doc Duff lists GOP reps. Lauren Boebert of Colorado and Barry Moore of Alabama. They're listed as original co-sponsors also. Each electronic benefit transfer card issued to a household or individual under this chapter shall include on the face of the card a photograph image taken within the previous 10 years, or in the case of a minor, taken within the previous 5 years. As a condition of authorization to accept or redeem benefits under the chapter, a retail food store or wholesale food concern before making a sale shall demand to see and shall inspect the photograph located on the electronic benefit transfer card for every customer using an electronic benefit transfer card. I know it's just EBT. We see EBT everywhere, but that's what it stands for. To ensure the person is entitled to utilize redeemed benefits. Wow. I don't know how that's going to work in the way most food stores, Walmarts, and other things are set up. You go through self-serve and you just put the card in the machine yourself and nobody sees it. But this would require them to be going to a teller. Now, they did leave accommodations for caregivers. The caregivers were the people that can't travel, can't go to the store themselves, could make sure they get that taken care of. That accommodation in there. The secretary shall establish procedures for reasonable accommodations to allow caregivers of a minor, individual with disabilities, or elderly individual to access benefits on behalf of recipient in their care. I didn't know this, but Nancy Mace is currently running for governor. She's in the House of Representatives right now since 21, and she's running for governor of South Carolina. Well, good luck to you, Nancy. We'll be right back. AM 560.
Hello, my name is Denise Coronado, Director of Volunteer Services. Hospice of Yuma is thrilled to be the first hospice organization in Yuma County and one of 9 in the state of Arizona to achieve the Level 5 We Honor Veteran status. This honor reflects years of dedicated efforts by staff and volunteers to meet veterans' needs. We're committed to providing the highest level of care and support to veterans and their families. To become a vet-to-vet volunteer or for more information about Hospice of Yuma services, please call our office at 928-343-2222 or visit our website at hospiceofyuma.com.
All right, do-it-yourselfer, you've got the idea, and you got your building supplies at Southwest Lumber.
That's right.
Now, all you need is a bunch of expensive tools to get the job done.
Oh, that's right.
And you know just the place to rent them. Southwest Lumber, your home for everything home improvement. Southwest Lumber has half-day to multiple-day rentals available on just about anything you need to finish the job. Rent equipment and tools on Saturday and Sunday. It's free. Stop in today at 1917 South Avenue B in Yuma. Southwest Lumber, ready for everything.
Listen to KBLU from 8 to 9 every Monday morning to Life, Death, and the Law. Sean Garner and Adam Hansen discuss estate planning options. Learn how you can plan your estate using a will or trust to protect your family and secure your legacy. That's Life, Death, and the Law every Monday, 8 to 9 a.m. on 560 KBLU.
At Exceptional Community Hospital, we are redefining what emergency care should feel like. Fast, personal, and compassionate. Our experienced ER physicians and staff are here 24/7 to care for your unexpected illness or injury. Don't wait for emergency care when you can be seen in minutes. With short wait times, you'll get the prompt attention you need because every minute matters. And if your recovery takes longer, we provide the inpatient care you deserve. Exceptional Community Hospital. Compassionate care. Exceptional service.
There's a man in D.C. He's 6'3". He's fighting.
AM 560 KBLU. Russ Clark with you. Phone lines open. 928-941-0304. 62% of Americans support military action against suspected drug traffickers, according to surveys. Makes you wonder what the other 68% for. Well, they say let the drugs get here, I guess. And this is the Department of Defense has been carrying out airstrikes. So we already have a history of it in the last couple months. I don't know what they're up to as far as number of boats that have been struck. This article says 15. Oh, since November 3rd, and 6 more strikes have been happening since more than that. So it's over 20. 83 deaths. 15,000 troops deployed in the area. Of course, troops aren't involved in those things. This is going to be some kind of gun or big gun or some kind of missile that's been taking these out. They interviewed 2,500 people to rank their confidence in various public institutions with response to a great deal of confidence. And a great deal of confidence, some confidence, or not much at all in the military got the high score of any institutions with 82%. I don't doubt that. Confidence or higher, the effort to rename the Department of Defense into the Department of War, the unofficial title the Trump administration is using, had less support. Only 59% of respondents disapproving of it, and only 36 in favor. I didn't know that. I thought people were happy with the Department of War. Looks like 60% are not. They like the Department of Defense. Of course, it didn't officially change, is my understanding, that Trump kind of nicknamed it because it didn't go through congressional approval at all. In terms of foreign policy, support for army in Ukraine was up to 64% this year. And that continues even after 3 years. I know Putin just turned down another peace deal like yesterday. But I don't think he's ever been serious. I mean, you get to the point where he's not serious, but he keeps turning down, and Ukraine keeps turning up the attacks on Russia with drones. It's been amazing. They just shut down Moscow's power, most of it. Again, with drones, sophisticated. These aren't just a drone that you fly in there. It's a sophisticated strategy of sending in drones to distract, and they know they're going to get blown up, so they can sneak other drones in. It's just an amazing thing to watch. There's some YouTube specials on it that I've seen that just do a tremendous job of breaking down how they break into the airspace. Let's see. Edward talked about the EBT card. That's my fact checker. He said a picture on the EBT card would be just a waste of administrative dollars, as no one looks at signatures anymore since we all swipe cards ourselves. That's what I mean. Yeah, right. Like I said, you go into Walmart, you go into self-service, you just do it yourself. This idea is virtue signaling, adds cost with no bite. It is why Congress never gets anything done. They are always behind the criminals. Yeah. Yeah, I could say that a picture isn't going to make a big difference. I agree with it. It's not going to. I mentioned the Powerball jackpot, but I want to let you know that there's another one coming up. When is that? Let's see. No ticket matched on Saturdays in Florida. Nobody on Monday. Now Monday night didn't. So it's going to grow. Estimated 740 million ahead of Monday night's drawing. Well, the Monday didn't work out. I'm gonna have to look and see what day we're on. This I grabbed an old one. I don't know what day the next Powerball is going to be. So, now that it's getting high enough, it's interesting. Again, it's only 100. One in. I'll have to throw that paper away. 1 in 300,000. I want to talk about a police dog after the phone call. You're on the air. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, Russ.
How you doing, OG?
I'm okay.
Good.
Listen, I'm looking at Minnesota's track record here on immigrants.
Uh-huh.
They had 21 Nazi prisoner war camps during World War II. 21 of them, around 4,000 total prisoners, and they were helping with the farm work in Minnesota.
Oh.
And the Minnesotans, they began to realize that they were just like them, and they welcomed them with open arms.
Wow.
Yeah, this is a little bit of hidden history in the United States. And so that's Minnesota's background. Now remember, Hubert Humphrey came from Minnesota, and so did Walter Mondale, the guy that co-wrote the 10th Lincoln Communist Manifesto for Jimmy Carter.
Okay.
So Minnesota has a background of oppression. They really do. I have one to Fort Lewis, Washington, across the top 90 highway and 80. I stopped there for gas, and in the one gas station that my late wife and I stopped at, they told us they didn't speak English. So my wife started speaking German, and they went around behind the gas station to avoid her. Now that is a true story. Wow. I don't know why they were trying to avoid her, but I did know they had a Nazi history.
I had no idea.
You know, we blame Argentina and Brazil with being a haven for Nazis. Remember the boys from Brazil?
Yeah. Yeah, there was movies on that. Yeah.
Yeah. So they could have made one of the boys from Minnesota.
I think they're in real trouble. When you see the leaders out there doing what they're doing, the mayor as well as the governor supporting it all, it's crazy.
Yeah, exactly. And now I'm going to tell you, 53.5 million non-residents living in this country. That's overwhelming, Russ.
Yeah.
These are people with infrastructure. And they've taken over housing and also their kids. They are creating havoc in our schools, in our education system.
And they don't have any intent to assimilate, which makes it just long-term not going to get better.
No. And Americans are accepting this. They're just going, no, and I guess immune to it. And they just accept this. There's 53.5 million non-residents living in this country. Right? I cannot conceive that.
No, it's too much.
It is too much. And Trump is absolutely right in doing something about it. Yes, he is. And we better stand behind this man.
I think more and more people are. I mean, the Democrats aren't, but the Republicans have not lessened their support. They're staying with it.
The Democrats have been at war with our Constitution and Christianity in this country, as I've said before, since its founding. Yes, they have. Yeah, they have a legislative paper trail, a vivid paper trail. All you got to do is look it up. Look at all the rules and laws and regulations that these Democrats have passed through the past 100 years, and it all are contrary to the U.S. Constitution, now, Russ.
Yeah.
See, the problem with Democrats and communism is our government is a Christian government.
Yeah.
It still has the remnants of a Christian government. Yes, because our basis of common law are 10 Commandments, the Bill of Rights. Think about this. So this is their problem. And every time a Democrat wants to make a human rights thing, and that's what they call it, they pass a law, which is contrary to the U.S. Look at LBJ's Affirmative Action Proclamation in 1965. Look at that one. Everybody thought that was law, but it wasn't. It was the LBJ's presidential proclamation where he proclaimed that blacks have affirmative action in schools. That is just wrong. I bet people are not realizing this. They're getting acclimated to this stuff for us. And Trump is right in bringing education back to the states. But it's going to be a little late because it took them 100 years. Jimmy Carter, I'm telling you, he was the one that signed into law the 10th Pike of the Communist Manifesto. And that thing put the government in charge of education that educated everyone under the age of 60. That's the influence Jimmy Carter had. Yeah. And we're not getting the gravity of this stuff. I mean, I do when I go out daily and I talk to people. It's like talking to a bucket of rocks.
Yep.
They don't see straight and have no interest in it, But yeah. But anyway, I just thought I'd mention that. But Minnesota has they have a big what you call a genealogical problem. They really do. And the governor, I mean, look at who he is. He buys cover for Minnesota.
Oh,
we're a great state. Blah blah blah. He won't talk about the Nazi. He won't talk about the Somalians. He won't talk about the crime. He did it. No, he's doing cover for them.
Yeah, him and the mayor also. They both do. I mean, you got no hope of fixing anything.
Well, the Democrats is what is curious. I mean, the Democrats have tagged Hubert Humphrey as being a conservative, and that is so far from the truth. Yeah, Hubert Humphrey was a vice president to the one communist piece of crap, LBJ. Lyndon Baines Johnson was a communist. Everything LBJ did was contrary to the United States Constitution. LBJ was the one that destroyed the 1952 McCarran-Walter Act. And that was the one that would have created a problem for Muslims coming into this country because they have to be a good moral character, a Christian character, and Muslims are not. Because Muslim means the civilization of Islam. And Islam is a religion practiced in countries where it dominates. It's in their doctrine. And we're not looking at this. We're just going like they're little sheep. And they're the ones wearing wolves clothing.
Some people are starting to look at it a little bit. It's starting to get out a little bit. You're right, OG, though, that it's not the majority. It's not where we need to be.
Well, 53.5 million Russ non-residents cannot be discounted.
Yeah.
That's way too many. That is over 15 to 20% of our society. Now, that is just wrong.
Well,
no place can sustain that kind of a cultural invasion.
No.
And I use that appropriately. We have no such thing as American culture no more. We don't. It's all been taken away from us. And the people are just like cattle. They just get acclimated. So what? So I get my Social Security check this month. That's all I care about. And that's what we are. We have spoiled a bunch of people with what do you call it? When the government gives them money and stuff.
Entitlements?
Entitlements.
Yeah.
Yeah, entitlements. We have spoiled them with entitlements. And that needs to be taken away. I've been totally against entitlements all my life. Because had they not been entitlements for us, each person has a chance to belong to a wealthy family. Someone in that family will go make money if there's not anything free. Right. My father did. My father operated almost a 3,000-acre ranch in Oklahoma from nothing. And he only had a third-grade education, but he knew how to shovel horse doo-doo.
Well, that's what it takes to make money. Let's do it.
Well, yeah. Well, remember, men had the brawn, and the women had to be the finesse and the brains of the bakery shop and stuff, or the butcher shop.
Mm-hmm.
She was the cashier, and he was the butcher. That's mom and pop stores, but we don't have that anymore, Russ. I'm sorry, but But 53.5 million people, folks, as non-residents in this country is just too much. I will be up front and now I will say that. It's too much.
Yeah.
Trump needs to send them all back. Just send them all back and we start over. Now, we had a freeze on immigration from 1924 until 1965, and LBJ was the one that killed it with his 1965 Immigration Naturalization Act. And it reached back with Italians, and it killed the 1952 McCarran-Walker Act. And that thing could be rewritten and brought back, that McCarran-Walker Act, that 1952 McCarran. Yeah. Well, also, Bondi is not looking at the 1954 Communist Control Act. He's not looking at that either to go prosecute George Soros.
To bring some of that back, we're gonna have to hold on at the midterms, and there's a chance that we can pass some more legislation. But
well, I'm so sick of it. I'm just so sick of the threats that we're going to investigate. I'm tired of investigation. Let's put someone in jail and let's start there.
I'm not disagreeing with you.
Yeah, we can do that. Hillary Clinton, she's sliding totally by her breaking up her BlackBerry and all that. She's getting away with that totally.
Oh gosh, yes. Even the investigation found problems with her emails and all, some sensitive materials, and they said, but nobody's going to prosecute her, and that came from the FBI.
And Comey is getting away with what he did. Remember, we got judge reversed that, knocked it down.
Yep. Absolutely.
We are a nation of crime, folks. We're not a nation of laws. We're a nation of crime. RFK, he's the one that destroyed the symbol of law and order, and that was Alcatraz. He destroyed that on purpose.
Oh.
And crime has just gone through the roof since 1963, since your favorite president killed our symbol of law and order, that was Alcatraz. And Trump, I thought he was going to reopen that. I thought he was.
He certainly said he was interested in doing it, but I don't see how they're going to do that. That's tough.
No, they can reopen that. It's kind of like Alcatraz to law and order was what the Statue of Liberty is to liberty, okay? Without Statue of Liberty, we're kind of like a regular vanilla country. Without Alcatraz, we are a crime-infested country. That's all it is. Yeah. And we need to do something about our symbols. And the blacks in football still abusing our national anthem and our flag, and they're getting away with it. They're just not playing it no more.
Well, I know. I don't watch football because of that.
I don't either, but I do the first 5 minutes to make sure that I know what the hell I'm talking about when I open my mouth about it.
I know. I appreciate it.
But anyway, yeah, you have a nice weekend, Russ.
You too, sir. Take care, man. Bye-bye. Uh-huh. As Mr. OG, I started talking about these canine dogs. They're part of the police force when the dogs, and there's a illegal alien that's accused of killing a canine in California. Canine named Spike. He's a Salvadorian national. It was in the air illegally, and Jose Domingo Alice, 37 years old, ran during a November 22nd traffic stop, leading the Burbank police officers and a canine named Spike to chase him. Residential neighborhood, and officials said alias opened fire shooting Spike after the dog spotted him in nearby bushes. Well, they brought in additional canine dogs, SWAT teams, air support, tracked down Alice, and he was still armed with a handgun. With multiple efforts and negotiations, even though he continued shooting at police, and they ended up killing him eventually. But the dog died, and the community went all out for a memorial schedule, a memorial ceremony, like one of their own. He's honored in the city's Tournament of Roses parade on New Year's Day. He will be honored at the New Year's parade. So we want to extend our deepest gratitude to our community from the Burbank. That came from the Burbank Police Department Chief Rafael Quintero. Says your outpouring of love, compassion, and support as we mourn for the loss of Canine Spike has meant more to us than words can express. A heartfelt thing. So they're even killing the dogs. Trump was right. Killing the dogs. Unfortunately, I got my dog going crazy. I think somebody's entered the building. And I'll be back. I'm going to go out and take care of them. It's 8 o'clock, AM 560.